Israel. It is your boy Michael Israel. And I'm going to get the music up and going. And like I said, I got Yoshiyahu, Moreh Yoshiyahu here. We're going to get started with the interview soon. But you know how we do. For now, enjoy the music.
If you come against the scriptures, man, we gon' rise up. If you come against our heritage, we gon' rise up. It don't matter, anybody get it, man, we gon' rise up, rise up. We rise up. If you come against the king, man, we gon' rise up. If you come against our Elohim, we gon' rise up. It don't matter, anybody get it, man, we gon' rise up, we rise up. Rise up and rise up.
Oh me, oh my. Atheist tweeting OMG. Life came to a standstill, it done got real with them prophecies. Every time we done pass go, monopolize the monopoly. You give us 200, take 300, charge us for the property. Y'all gave us this authority. To be honest, got it honestly. Which means we are joint heirs. Zombies twins on a trampoline. We speak what he wrote. Melania's speech, Michelle's notes. Israel hit the ground running like a breech bird cause we got home. Hold up. Yeshua is the Messiah. It's his will over our will, so we call that student drivers. He calls us his song. Sorry, Mariah. Posted when carry these notes. Addressing all outsiders, we will rise up.
If you come against the scriptures, man, we gon' rise up. If you come against our heritage, we gon' rise up. It don't matter, anybody get it, man, we gon' rise up, rise up. We rise up. If you come against the king, man, we gon' rise up. If you come against our Elohim, we gon' rise up. It don't matter, anybody get it, man, we gon' rise up, we rise up.
Yeah.
Rise up. And rise up.
Rise up in the morning, see my people in poverty, crying out to my people. They asking me why you bother me. Slaves, we living in colonies, walking like zombies who bred with lobotomies. Even preacher man, a creature man, down low with them sodomies. And no, it isn't an oddity, rather the norm. So check the academy. They say it ain't easy. I guess that's the academy. Rise, I'm getting anatomy. Know that they lie to me, no longer lie to me. The shoe flipped up the process. Yeah, I molded the pottery. Hold up. What they gonna do when they show up? Will they ever grow up? Cause some rather free with a bowl than a running plant seed with a sower. You remember Noah? What you gonna be when the blow, when they haven't reseed, then it roll up? Then you're gonna go up. You better reread what you know of mainframe, DP, and Tacoa.
If you come against the scriptures, man, we gon' rise up. If you come against our heritage, we gon' rise up. It don't matter, anybody get it, man, we gon' rise.
Hey, shalom, y'all. Shalom. It's your boy Michael Israel. Give me thumbs up if the sound quality's good. Give me thumbs up if you're on Facebook and the sound quality's good, because I see somebody said there's no sound. So give me thumbs up in there if you could hear me.
Rise up, Judah. Rise up, Benjamin. Rise up, Levi. Rise up, Asher.
Okay.
We gon' rise up, Naphtali.
All right, so we got thumbs up in there.
Rise up, Issachar.
Hey, brother Eli, you might have to. It might be your phone. So.
Rise up, Gad. Rise up, Dan. We gon' rise up, 12 tribes. Rise up, 12 tribes. Rise up, 12 tribes. Rise up, 12 tribes. Rise up.
Shalom, y'all. Shalom. It's your boy Michael Israel here, and as you can see, I'm here with my man Yoshiyahu. We're gonna be getting started here in a couple minutes. We're gonna be discussing Yoshi's Suko over there. We have a lot of pictures and a lot of other information we're gonna be talking about. But in the meantime, while I'm sharing this and inviting people in here, I need y'all to do the same. And while you're doing that, enjoy the music.
got some hits coming out. We finna send to the world.
I didn't understand I was Deuteronomy 28 and 56. I didn't understand that my soul was made to excel. It wasn't meant
radio station going?
Yeah, that's up. Yeah.
that because I was being a wicked Israelite, that I would have to go through the pain and the hurt and to lose the man in my life. So I went it alone with my baby girl and viewed him in hate. But the Lord said if we had obeyed His word, then we would have been great. So I'm leaving alone on my sinful acts and keeping His commands, 'cause that's who I am. That's who I am. See, I'm a lioness from the tribe of Judah. I'ma do the things, all the things I would do in the better days with the better ways when I had a crown. See, I'ma give Him praise, singing hallelujah, and I'ma keep the ways, all the ways I should do. Leave the evil things, turn the world away, put my idols down. I'm a lioness from the tribe of Judah, and I'ma do the things, all the things I would do in the better days with the better ways when I had a crown. So I'ma give Him praise, singing hallelujah, and I'ma keep the ways, all the ways I should do. Leave the evil things, turn the world away, put my idols down. I didn't know our slavery was Deuteronomy 28 and 68. Because we were a hard-headed, stiff-necked, rebellious people, we went reprobate. The prophet Daniel tells us that all of Israel broke the law and felt the curse. So now in the lands of our captivity, the righteous acts we must rehearse. See, the Most High commands us to keep the law, though He gives us grace. But Christ said it out of His very mouth, the law is not erased. So I'm living to do all of God's commands. Yes, I will obey for eternity. Eternity. See, I'm a lioness from the tribe of Judah, and I'ma do the things, all the things I would do in the better days, with the better ways when I had a crown. See, I'ma give Him praise, singing hallelujah, and I'ma keep the ways, all the ways I should do. Leave the evil things, turn the world away, put my idols down. I'm a lioness from the tribe of Judah, and I'ma do the things, all the things I would do in the better days, with the better ways when I had a crown. See, I'ma give Him praise, singing hallelujah, and I'ma keep the ways, all the ways I should do. Leave the evil things, turn the world away, put my idols down. Can't these dry bones live? Can't these dry bones talk? Can't these dry bones sing? Can't these dry bones walk? Can't these dry bones sing? Can't these dry bones talk? Now watch these dry bones live, 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 live. See, I'm a lioness from the tribe of Judah, and I'ma do the things, all the things I would do in the better days, with the better ways when I had a crown. See, I'ma give Him praise,
Did I get
singing
knocked out?
hallelujah.
Nah, we good. I fixed it.
All the ways I should do. Leave the evil
Yeah.
things, turn the world away, put my eyes.
I see myself, but I don't see you anymore.
Yeah, I took my picture off. Hey, shalom, y'all. Shalom. We're going to be getting started here in about 1 minute. I'm just putting the final touches on all this technical stuff I got over here. And we'll be getting started. So just enjoy the next song, and I'll be getting started here in a couple seconds.
Oh, so you took yourself down.
Yeah.
Okay.
All praise to the Most High. first of all praises to the Most High. Most cry and wonder why it's all strife. Grew in the hood just to dodge cops. That feeling's all too familiar, like the slave patrol night watch. They say get out, but that's a tight box. We grew up in this.
All right, shalom, y'all. Shalom, y'all. Shalom. It's Michael Israel. You're watching Spiritual Combat. And today we have, as you can see, Yoshiyahu here on the show. We're going to be discussing a whole bunch of things real fast, though. I got a couple quick announcements that I'd like to put out before we get started with the interview. The first announcement is Dr. Mumbi was supposed to be on the show Sunday, but she had to cancel. She said, and I'll play the message for you a little later on that she sent me, but she said she has been under spiritual attack, and she asked that all you pray for her. So make sure y'all pray for Dr. Mumbi. She's going to get back with me on rescheduling it. So I'll definitely keep you informed on that. We also, tomorrow, make sure you tune in around the same time. We're going to have some special guests that we're excited to have on. Brother Andre and Sister Mystiqua. And they are going to be, you know, I'm all about marriage and relationship and making that thing work good because that's the core of Israel. So they're going to be discussing their marriage moments. It's a book that they come out with, and also it's, I forget what you call it, but we're going to be discussing marriage, though, tomorrow, and they're all about it. They're a very loving couple to watch. They just have a good spirit on them. So they're going to be on here tomorrow. This is them right there. Definitely check out their YouTube page if you get a chance. Ahaya Academy will be, I will have some of the board of the board of directors will be on here Sunday. So definitely check that out. The Ahaya Academy, if you don't know, is a Hebrew based school for our people from kindergarten from daycare all the way to 12th grade. So definitely be on there. There's some needs that they need met. I know one of them was like a plumbing thing and stuff like that. So definitely tune into that. And last, we're working on, there's a brother, Sar Shemuel Benjamin. He's developed a Hebrew martial arts system. We're going to have him on here soon also. So a lot of things going on. But with that said, we got my man, Moreh Yoshiyahu. And shalom, brother.
Shalom. To the 12 tribes of Israel, and to all of the companions of Israel and those who have been grafted into this marvelous tree. Shalom.
And shalom back to you. The last time, I got to tell you, man, the last time you were on here, that message that you did, man, People are still talking about that. And I still see people, I get comments on my YouTube from time to time because some people didn't see it. And when they see it, you know, they put comments in there saying how awesome that message was. And real fast, before we get started, y'all, if y'all have questions, go ahead and put them in the comments now. And I'm going to ask them so we can make this interview very fruitful and productive. But with that said, let's start with Yoshiyahu. How was your Sukkot?
Yeah, that's kind of an interesting question because I don't really have words to adequately explain how wonderful it was. It was, first of all, the attendance was over what we thought it was going to be. It was outstanding. People got there days ahead of time and started gelling immediately. A lot of people for the first time had actually camped, and then to camp with such a wonderful group of Hebrews. It was incredible. And then we had Bible studies pretty much every day. We were teaching Hebrew, and we had people in Hebrew classes, hundreds of folk understanding or learning Hebrew. We had men's groups, which I think if you were putting up some of the pictures that I sent.
Yeah, I see you caught a fish there.
We actually keep the feast on a lake. It's called Eastman Lake. So we went out, had a chance to go out and do some fishing. So I told them that I fished, and they was like, "You really fish?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I really fish." So that morning, Mama Nia said, "Hey, I want some fish. So can you bring me a fish back or some fish?" And I told her, "Yeah." So I told the people on the boat, I said, "Look, I'm gonna have you guys fishing, but I gotta catch a couple of them first to take them to Mama Nia." So they were like, "We'll do whatever you want to." So that was the fish I caught, and then I let them work the rest of the day.
Awesome.
Yeah, I love it. That's fun, big fun.
If you could talk about the layout of the land, because we were talking about that the other day, and if you could tell the people watching about that, how beautiful the land is there where you're at.
Yeah, so we are in a really secluded campground in the back of the lake called Eastman Lake. And there's actually, we're going to rent all 3 next year. There's actually 3 group campsites. And we've been using the largest one, which is 160 sites. But we've been putting like 200, 250 people in there. But next year, our goal is to combine with, of course, our brother Morris and Josh and other Hebrew leaders across the nation. We're planning on having a joint Sukkot. And because we have the space to do it here, we're planning on doing it out here in California. And the place is wonderful. It's in the foothills, so it's not like high in the mountains, and it's not, going to be freezing cold or anything. The land and the layout is very, very beautiful. It was a little dry this year because we are in a drought again. But as far as it's just beautiful. The rolling hills, the morning. I think I sent you a few shots of like sunsets and sunrises. It's an awesome thing. And the temperature is pretty much perfect. A little on the warm side the first couple of days, but after that, everything it was wonderful. It was beautiful.
Wow.
Yeah.
And what were some of the I guess events or festivities or teachings that went on there, so people know I guess what the format of it was?
Oh, first and foremost, say that again.
Oh, I didn't say anything. That's my phone making all types of weird sounds. Let me mute.
Okay. So first and foremost, when we kicked it off on the Shabbat right before the feast, we had Bible studies early in the morning, and the women's class and the men's class, we separated the children. So the teachers that we bring in from either out of town, they come and we divide, and that's kind of like our first. That's like our first gathering. That's our first event, is just getting into the word with each other, and then after that we sing. We celebrate, we praise. We had a band this year, and the band was, I've got some clips, but I was trying to upload them before I came on the show, but I didn't get them uploaded. But we have a band, and it was just, oh my goodness gracious. The musicians and the singers and the drummers, it was just unbelievable. Wow. And that happened pretty much every night. So we had that going on every day, every night. And then, of course, on the Shabbat, we did a baptism. And I think some people have already uploaded. Matter of fact, if my cousin is watching this, Yael, we're going to make sure that I didn't get those clips. I know you sent them to me, and we having issues trying to get them back and forth. But she was blessed to get pictures of the baptism along with another about 50 or 60 people.
Okay.
Who got pictures of baptism. And you can hear the drums and the shofars blowing, and you see the people walking down the pathway and all in white, and we out down in the water. And we put about, 25, 30, maybe 40 Hebrews under the water as they were baptized into the name of Yah to follow the laws, statutes, and commandments of the Most High Yah under the authority of our King Yahushua, being led by the Ruach. It was unbelievable. And to top it off after that event, then we concluded with a marriage ceremony. Wow. And that was unbelievable too. We got footage of that. I was trying to get to you to put up. And it looked like we had actually planned that thing for months and months and months at a time. And really what happened was the people just came together out of love and just brought whatever they had to help, this young couple who has been a blessing to the Ark for sure. And they were able to come up and we did the ceremony right on the hill. It was fantastic, man. So yeah, Hula this year, she introduced a thing called nature walks with the women. It was sort of like a prayer walk kind of things. When in the morning they would walk a mile or two through the woods and around the lake. There was like a trail that went around the lake, and then there's a few areas where you can break off the trail and come down actually to the water. And if you go on YouTube and type in, like Sukkot or the Ark Sukkot in California. I'm trying to think of the website. I'll get it before the interview's over.
And you talking about Hula's website?
No, another one of our sisters. I'm finna pull up her information.
Okay.
She did a video on it, and it's like a 30-minute clip, and then she put it together based on her vision of how she saw it. She's from Canada. Okay. And she came all the way down here and she filmed it. And so I'll make sure I get the information before because I got to get it off my phone. Okay. But I'll make sure we get that up so y'all can see the nature walks we took. And then we had campfire every night, big, huge. Once all the festivities are over, because after 10 o'clock, it's like a quiet time. Okay. And so you can't operate any amplified equipment after 10 in the campgrounds. Okay. But after 10 o'clock, what we do is we turn off all the amplification, but then people who want to hang out under the pavilion, they do. And then a bunch of folks go down to the campfire and we hang out at the campfire for a few hours or a couple hours every night. And man, it's so beautiful, the conversations and the insight and the relationships. People really, when it's all said and done, they just don't want to go home.
Nope. I know. That's how I was.
They're like, do we really have to go back to the hustle and bustle? Yeah, man, unfortunately. Yep.
And where did you have people coming from that you know of that maybe was the furthest place? I know you just said somebody came from Canada.
Canada, and of course we have people coming from all over America. So I think the furthest would be East Coast. We had several people. Remember the storm hit. So a lot of the brethren and sisters that came from North Carolina, South Carolina that wanted to come, obviously they couldn't come. Okay. And then of course, then we had people from Jersey and pretty much almost every state is represented. There's a couple of states, like I don't think Alaska was there.
Yeah.
Hawaii, but pretty much every other state represented. It was beautiful.
And real fast, for those of you on Facebook.
Hold on for a minute.
Okay.
My sister just wrote me. She told me it's Selena. Selena.
All right, hold on. I'll pull it up here real quick.
All right. And by the way, thank you, Anna. And Anna is my sister. She's going to be working with she is working, not going to. She's working with our praise team and our musical staff, and she's a professional, man. Okay. We got some stuff. The nation gonna have to get ready for what's getting ready to come out of the Ark. It's when it comes to music, that's been a great need, and Anna is definitely somebody, Anna Jack. But her name, you ready?
Yes.
Selena, Selena, and it's Live Light, and then Well, Well.
Live
light, L-I-G-H-T, well.
Is that all one word?
No, 3 separate words.
So live light well. Okay.
It's going to say Sukkot, S-U-K-K-O-T, video.
Okay. Sukkot, baptism, and Yah's 3 signs.
There it is. You see it?
And then Sukkot, Akoti's woman's wilderness walk. So
yeah,
we'll watch some of both of them. We'll watch a little bit. I see that it's about, one's a half hour, the other one's an hour. So
yeah,
of course,
so you can.
We're not going to watch the whole thing.
Oh, no, but at least you get a chance
We'll watch the beginning of it. So we'll go to it right now. Just bear with me.
Cool.
All right, so here we go. All right, it's getting ready to start.
Hi, Selena here, and welcome to Into All Truth. I know it's going to sound really windy, but I'm going to cover Sukkot and some of the hikes that we did with my fellow ox. And as you guys know, I'm a descendant of the Ashanti tribe. The Ashanti were from Judea and had priests who carried on the Erve, or Hebrew. Ashan was one of the sons of Judah, and their city was the city of Levitical priests.
So I'm going to fast forward a little bit.
Yeah, until you see them at the start walking. You'll see the women walking in a minute. I can't see the screen, so.
Yeah, this is the baptism video here.
Oh, okay. Well, you can see it, huh?
Yeah, I see y'all got all types of instruments out there.
Yeah, man. I was trying to see it with you.
And that's a nice area. I got mountains and rivers and all types of stuff.
Yeah, it's awesome. It's awesome.
All right, let me.
Can you screen share that?
Yeah, let me see what I can do, because sometimes it messes my screen up when I do it.
Oh, yeah, well, don't mess it.
It's all right. It's all right. We'll fix it. All right, there you go. So now you can see it too. Can you see that?
Okay, yeah, you see Lauren with the guitar. You see the wedding video?
Yeah.
Isn't that beautiful?
Yeah.
On top of the mountain.
And groom. So after the baptism, we had this beautiful wedding. Unbelievable, right? Talk about a Moreh.
Yeah, that's nice.
So the union of the bride.
So you might want to fast forward a little bit more, and you can see the women's walk.
I learned how to make a tzitzit, so I made a tzitzit for the groom.
Right,
and then
I think this is it.
I was not afraid, and I think it's because we no longer
there you go.
have to fear the serpent, because Yah is with us. So just like
you see them there going down the trail, and
Moshe, they both picked up the snake in the wilderness. Okay, and they defeated it. So when Kimberly, one of the other women on the walk, came down and approached us, she started picking up the dry wood, and she picked up the staff that looked like the lamed, that looked like the stuffer's shaft, that looked sort of like a snake.
Wow.
And so here now she
picked up a lamed. Her staff is the shape of the Hebrew letter lamed.
After her, everyone started picking up.
Which literally has to do with leadership, walking
sticks,
guidance. It's a shepherd's staff.
And the interesting thing about the walking sticks was that they were white bleached. They looked like dry bones, like the dry white hand of death. Okay, because remember, Moshe is asked to put his hand in his cloak to turn it white. All right, and so now that we held on to these
the Hebrew word for walk is halak,
symbols of the living staffs of Israel.
Okay.
And so this
fast forward a little.
Well, I just want you to see that, so that people could know if they want to take a look at it. And also, I'll be working with my sister, because Selena, she's
and it was
oh yeah, that was the last day we went out on the boat, and
who had written
Man, it's just a beautiful. We had a beautiful time. There go Hula,
and Yah just
my
gave
baby,
it is
and
a
there's
song
Lauren who hung
about
out with us.
those in captivity of Israel. It is the house of the rising sun and the risen sun. There is a house in New Orleans they call the Rising Sun.
Yeah, Bible says came from
It's been the
Mississippi.
ruin of
Who
many
else
a
is on the
bold
boat?
boy, and Yah, I know I'm one. My mother was
Had a brother from Florida.
sewed my blue.
We actually caught that morning. We went out. Hula and I went out, caught about 6 fish that day.
Okay.
How
And the children, they played in the water and had a good time. Man, it was fun.
together children.
All right. Let me bring you back on here.
About 6 fish.
Let's see.
Did you hear what my wife said?
What'd she say?
She gonna come in here and say, make sure you let them know who caught the fish now.
She not coming on the show this time?
Huh? She's on her way out the door right now to do some cooking for one of the family members who's going through something. So they're gonna go hang out with them, and I'm doing the interview. So
okay, that's cool. But tell her everybody says shalom.
Okay. Everybody says shalom. The whole world says shalom at the same time.
Man, I'm trying to figure out how to
in the womb by the
trying to figure out how to get this back to normal.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, you go ahead and keep talking because they can still see you.
Oh, okay. All right. So those are some of the activities that we did. As a matter of fact, everybody that went fishing that I know of that was really going in the mornings, they all caught fish. Most people caught fish. The lake, for some reason, is just really, really good right this year.
Mm-hmm.
And then a lot of people, another thing that happened this year, which I thought was very beautiful, is that a lot of people brought their own like barbecue pits, hibachis, whatever it was to cook with.
Mm-hmm.
And so we had a bunch of tents that were cooking and sharing food, and so you had a chance to taste food from all over, from different people, the different flavors, and then that was creating fellowship, right? So people were hanging out at this tent, then they hang out at the other tent, and then they get some of the stuff that they cooked in their tent, and they would bring it to the evening gathering, and everybody was sharing, and it was an incredible experience, man. I just
awesome.
Looking over those pictures just now that Selena put up. Matter of fact, she's the sister I said that came all the way from Canada for the first time, and she had been watching us and also Hebrew Nation Builders, and so because this was out here, it was obviously closer. Good, baby. It was close for her to come down and, well, not close from Canada, but she actually drove down.
Okay.
Yeah, and hung out. So it was great. It was a great time. And I think people left here excited and even about next year. So we got to start planning that like right now.
Absolutely. I'm polishing up my pennies, saving my pennies up so I can be out there.
So we're gonna set up a payment plan this year, and we're going to set it up early enough for people to get out here. And of course, the further in advance you book your ticket, the cheaper the flights are going to be from wherever you're coming from.
Right.
We got one group planning on chartering a bus, and they're bringing their whole group out.
Where are they coming from?
They're thinking about coming all the way from Jersey.
Oh, okay.
They want to hang out with each other, for a few days on the way out here and on the way back. So I'm like, wow, that's amazing.
Okay.
So we're looking for a good time, man.
If you could talk about your new Facebook page that I think you launched it this week.
Yeah, so last time we were interviewed, you had mentioned to me about Facebook, and I haven't been, I guess I've had an account, but it was idle. I can't remember the word they used for that, inactive for years. And so I went back and activated the account because of the Hebrew, because of what you're doing. So yeah, it's back up. Matter of fact, when I launched it or reactivated the account, I got about a handful of people writing and saying, I don't accept spam messages. This is not Moreh Yoshiyahu. Stay off my, and I had to write them back and say, no, this is really me. And they're like, you're on Facebook? So it was just one of those things to where, yeah, I'm on Facebook. I really, yeah, I'm on Facebook. I don't really know how to work it like people who are on Facebook all the time, but I definitely will be using it to promote the videos and promote what the things that the ARC is doing, and also, you know, to be able to reach out to even a broader audience with the truth.
And I gotta ask now, is Jacksonville on your plans of places for next year? My neighborhood.
Jacksonville, Florida?
Yep.
You know, this is our plan. This is our plan. Last year, we did some major cities going through the South. And this year, our goal is to go through the north part of the nation. And we got to dip down and catch some of the Midwest states. We got dear brothers and sisters in Missouri and Tennessee and places like that that wanted to come out. And so we are plotting our route at this, you know, right now, and we'll be posting it soon. Now, we're going to be in Florida, but we don't know exactly what city. But Florida is so small, wherever we are, I shouldn't say small, it's so accessible that wherever we are, man, you know, you can drive up. Come on, dude.
Right.
It's close to you.
All right. And if you could, and you already kind of discussed your future plans or your plans for next year. Is you're trying to hit the Midwest, stuff like that? Anything international?
Yeah, of course. Well, the very first thing we're doing is we'll be in Tobago, Trinidad. We'll be down there. December, I wrote that down, December 2nd through the 10th. And there's still time to get tickets. As a matter of fact, Hula just went online and got 2 airline tickets for around $400. So it's not something in the thousands of dollars to travel there. And we'll be there from December 2nd through December the 10th. And your contact person is going to be Yoel.
Okay.
Yoel. And can I give you the number?
Yeah. And you said that's for where?
This is going to be Trinidad and Tobago.
Oh, okay.
Yep. So you fly into Trinidad. Of Tobago. And we'll be there.
Your phone just.
Oh, hold on.
Yeah, his phone skipped a little bit, so.
Okay, sorry about that.
Yeah, but it's fine. So okay, so that's for Trinidad, and you said the contact is what?
Yoel.
Okay.
And it's at 1-868.
1-868.
779.
779.
4658.
Okay.
And if you are out of the country, call him on WhatsApp.
All right.
Yeah. If you're really coming from America or any other place in the world, all of you that are coming from the islands, last time we were in Trinidad, we had like 50 people from the other islands saying, you know, we missed you in Hula here, and are y'all coming back? So yes, we're coming back. We will be on the island of Tobago. We'll be there for like 7 days. And we would love to see you. Even if you can't make all the days, we would love to see you at least one day, lay eyes on you, fellowship with you, break bread together. It's going to be beautiful. And there's actually a fellowship already on the island. And Yoel is the one who pretty much is like leading that. So that's the first international thing. The second is we're going to be going back to England. Raise the roof. We're going to be in the UK. We don't know exactly where. We know that London is kind of central, so we may be back in London, but we're definitely going back to Great Britain because there's such a large amount of Hebrews waking up over there. And again, we are going to post this information ahead of time because we want people from the States to fly over and meet your brothers and your sisters that are in the not only in the islands, but over in Great Britain. Well, I guess that's an island too, but England. But you want to, we need to start building these bridges.
Right.
Because we are the same people.
Right.
And of course, it's always, it's always on the calendar to try to make it to the motherland, to do something in Africa. And we don't know exactly, we're still trying to make contacts. So even I kind of had a chance to look at the doctor that you mentioned and the work that she's doing. And so maybe we'll make a contact with her or someone else that's doing work in Africa. And we'll try to get to one of the countries or a couple of countries down there this year too.
Okay, all right. Because I know the best person to contact when it comes to that would definitely be Sister Only Love, because I know she has a lot. She's traveled all over that area, and she has a lot of contact with the different tribes over there. So.
All right, give me her information, and I'll definitely reach out to her.
Okay, so when the show goes up, I'll give you her WhatsApp.
Know each other.
What was that?
I think that her and Hulda know each other.
Yeah, they do. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
And y'all were in Atlanta at the same time actually, but there was just so much going on those 2 days. It was. You had to rush around and get everything, take everything in. It was amazing. So somebody asked, are you going to come to the Northeast, say Massachusetts? Oh
yeah, we're going to try to catch the whole North. So we'll always start on the West, of course. So we'll try to do like Oregon, maybe Washington, or maybe one state. And we won't stop till we get to the other ocean. We won't stop till we get to the East Coast.
Okay.
So, if a person would like to, for us to come to their city, like a particular place, then please email us. And for sure, the best way to reach me is morehyosh@gmail.com. And that way, through the email address, it goes directly into my Moreh Yosh is an email that I have set apart specifically to deal with the nation of Israel, the awakening remnant of Yisrael worldwide. And so if it goes to other emails, it's hard for me to get to it. But if it comes to that one, I know it's dealing with Israel. And that's where my emphasis is right now. So you want to send it to morehyosh@gmail.com.
Okay.
Yeah, that's how we got to Florida. That's how we got to the place we went in Florida.
Okay.
Yeah, Sister Sarah was like, I live here. And then another sister called us and was like, I'm here in this city. And then after about 10 sisters let us know that they was close to Orlando, we were like, okay, then let's do Orlando. So that's how we kind of gauge it.
Okay.
Yeah.
And
we had no idea it was going to be as well attended and spiritual as it was.
Wow.
Yeah, Orlando, that meeting was very special.
Okay.
Yeah, very special.
And you talking about the Hanukkah?
Yes, Feast of Dedication. That's a question that people have asked. We're in a constant mode of helping to wake up Jacob and to educate the Hebrews worldwide. And unfortunately, people think that Hanukkah is a Jewish religion and religious celebration.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not, it's Hebrew. It's an Israelite celebration.
Mm-hmm.
And so when you do the research on the word Hanukkah, you're going to find out it means to dedicate or to rededicate. And of course, because they don't use the word Hanukkah in your King James Version, I had somebody wrote me and say, why y'all keeping them Jewish festivals? I thought you was a Hebrew. And it's like, whoa, gotta really reel it back, bruh. This is the deal. Read St. John chapter 10. When you read St. John chapter 10, you're gonna discover that our King went to Jerusalem to the Feast of Dedication. That's what it's called in the King James Version of the New Testament. And it is not one of the seven. It is not one of the seven required feasts that we get in the first 5 books of the Bible. But this is a recognition of how Yah fought a battle for us and used the Maccabees to fight off the Greek influences that were coming in to our people and destroying our temple and desecrating it and all that. And these brothers got together, put their life on the line, and to show that Yah honored their efforts. When our king got here, he literally went to that feast.
Mm. And your phone's skipping a little bit. Okay, we're good. We're good. Okay.
Trying to make it. All right, there we go.
Yeah. Okay. Let me check. I'm gonna go online and check questions. See if y'all got any questions online. I'm gonna check the different. Let me see. All right. Let me see if y'all got any questions here. I'm sorting through them. All right. Okay. Let's see. And like you said your website is a place to go to as for to know the exact dates, times, all that stuff of the upcoming events.
Yeah, we're going to start. Matter of fact, that's our goal, is to this year do a lot better at updating the website on a regular basis. Matter of fact, starting probably next Monday, we will be working on that. So when people check in, they look, they can see what we're doing. We can upload videos and pictures of our progress and things that are happening, which of course is also, how can I say it? We're doing that also because we want people to know, because people support the art. We want people to know of the work that we're doing. That it's not just a group of me and Hula just out here by ourselves, but that there's a group effort trying to reach the lost tribes, and to see all the behind the scene work that's going on will encourage people to support the work that we're doing. Because that's one thing about our people, is that we love the benefits of the work that other people are putting in, but sometimes we are not gracious in returning our thanks through supporting them in any kind of way. And unfortunately, that's a problem with our people. We should support the things that are making a difference in the positive among our people. And so therefore, Hula and I are very careful to make sure that we show people what we're doing and how we're doing it and how it's making a difference. Just like you saw that video. So, we don't just talk about Sukkot and then just go in the backyard and throw up 2 tents. Man, you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah. No, we're doing it with the money that people sent in for us to do Sukkot. As you saw, it was a great, wonderful success. So we want to continue to do that, is my point. We want people to feel comfortable about supporting the work of the art, because thousands of the people across this nation have been encouraged by it as we went across the nation and through the videos and through the books and things, and it works both ways. We've also been encouraged by the thousands of people that have given us words of encouragement and love and all that stuff. Yeah, beautiful.
And Sister Anna, I apologize because brother, my aunt John Williams, he also told me that when I post these flyers, because people are watching from all over the world, I need to start putting Eastern Standard Time on there, because I see some people got confused. So my
Oh
apologies.
yeah.
I'm not just
West.
streaming to Jacksonville, Florida. It's the whole world is tuning in. So I'm gonna definitely
And you
get on the
know,
ball because I see there's a
feel like
sister in
workout.
here from England watching right now. So
See, I'm telling you, man, the UK supports the work of the Awakening Remnant, and we love it. We love them. And there's other places. The world is a big world.
it is. All right, let's see. I feel like I have to. What baptism? Okay, Brother Yoshiyahu, a sister put in here. She said, "I'm stressing." She said, "I feel like I have two things going on in my head, good and evil." She said, "Will baptism help my mind?"
Torah will help your mind. Yah says that I'll keep you in perfect peace, in shalom, if your mind is rooted or stayed, or the Hebrew word is to be fastened on him, and to fasten on him, you have to fasten on Torah. To fasten on Torah doesn't mean you go to sleep on your Bible like it's a pillow, like this, like I'm gonna sleep on my Bible because I need this to get from here into here. That's not how it works. It works like this. This is how you get your mind straight. You read, you open it up, and you get right, you better grab some of these. And you start reading. This is the book of the generations of Adams in the day that Yah created man, and you read and you read and you read and you read. And what happens is the water of the word begins to wash your mind, so that when Yah starts to speak to you, because you've been reading so much of his word, he becomes like a familiar voice, a familiar friend.
That's good.
But if you don't know all the things that's in here, you know, reading this constantly, then you can hear other stuff and you're put in the middle. And you'll be wondering if this is Yah speaking to you or if this is like the devil, which, by the way, is insulting to Yah. Can you imagine if you're married, your husband saying something to you and your wife saying, okay, is this the voice of my husband or the voice of my ex-boyfriend? See, that would bother you, right? If she's trying to figure out, is this you or is this Johnny Longleg? You know what I'm saying? Now you got some problems. Why? Because, baby, we married and you should know my voice. So one of the things we got to do is get familiar with his voice. And getting familiar with his voice is not just sitting down watching YouTube videos. Getting familiar with his voice is not just going to services or singing songs. It's actually doing the hard work of opening your Bible and reading it, and reading it with understanding. Hope I answered that question. That's a long way around. But.
And one of the things I always say is a good place to start when you feel like, and this is just my suggestion, when you feel like you're under demonic attack or things are going on in your head, a good place to start is Psalms. You know, reading Psalms. What do you think? You agree with that?
Matter of fact, if we get some time at the end of the thing, I'm gonna do something for you on Psalm 1.
Absolutely.
Okay.
You got all the time you want. So let me see. Somebody else asked, when can we begin reserving spots for Sukkot?
As soon as we get the website information up. So we're going to try to do that. Like I said, not this Monday coming, but the following Monday, we hope to have the whole thing revamped and updated with all the information. So what's today's date?
Today is the 18th.
All right. So give me 2 weeks from Monday. We should have all that stuff revamped.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. And the sister, she asked another question. She said, and it probably continues off what you just said, but she said, I feel so broken, and yet like the Father is yelling at me because of my thoughts. So, and like I said, Psalms is a good place to start. But go ahead, Yosh.
No, I was gonna say the same thing. Yeah, that probably your situation probably gonna take longer than just a question and answer period on YouTube.
But the way is pray, fast, and seek the Lord. Give up something, fast from something. You know what I'm saying? If for health reasons you can't fast from food, you know, fast from, figure out something else to fast from, but pray with supplication, fast, and seek the Lord. When we say seek the Lord, start reading Psalms. Read the book of Psalms. You know what I'm saying? And that's what you have to do. You got to counter those voices, which is probably demonic oppression going on in your head. You got to counter them with something. And just like Yoshiyahu said, you know what I'm saying? You got to fill your mind with the word. All right, let me see what other questions are in there. All right. All right. So, did you have anything else, Yoshi, before you start with your lesson?
I do, actually.
Okay.
I did a video a few weeks ago, and I did a video last night trying to put them up weekly as normal. One of them I did, I'm in a series called What Did the King Say? And if those of you who have not watched those videos, I would suggest that you go back and when you type in my YouTube channel, you can start from the beginning of Matthew, and you'll see the progression to where we are now. And we find ourselves in Matthew chapter 5. It's actually a through the Bible study. So, and you're going to see that in the what they call the New Testament, you're going to see that our King just over and over again affirmed what was already written in the Bible. And so people have asked me about the last message that I did on divorce, and I did it based on what the King said. And one of the issues is, first of all, the video is going viral. No, I shouldn't say viral, but I mean, thousands of people are watching the video. And people are writing me all the time, and I want them to know, number one, that I cannot be a marriage counselor. It's not my calling to do that for the nation of Israel. And I'm gonna show you why. But the idea of a lot of Christian counseling, believe it or not, is Christian-based. It comes from Christianity. It's not Torah-based. And so people are always looking for like Christian counseling. And I believe that counseling, for the most part, especially when it's done like Christian counseling, you're eating from the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. And whether you're eating from the good or the bad side, you're still eating the wrong fruit. Leave that tree completely alone. Christian counseling is a satanic form of information that's being put into you because it is the tree of good and evil. You understand what I mean by that?
Yeah.
They have a Bible, but they also do jack-o'-lanterns and pumpkins on Halloween. They carry scripture, but they also color eggs and eat pigs and swine. You see, it's a tree of good and evil.
That's good.
And
That's
so
heavy.
when you start dealing with what they call Christian counseling, even though it looks like it's good, it's from the tree of good and evil, which makes it evil. So it's all evil, because the idea is good in Hebrew is the word tov. Evil in Hebrew is the word ra. Tov means functional. Ra is dysfunctional. And so what you have in what they call Christian counseling is you have functional and dysfunction trying to work together. It just creates more dysfunction. So what I do in helping Israel in those areas like marriage and divorce My thing is to not give you from the tree of good and evil, but to give you from the tree of life. The tree of life is the Torah. So my only counseling is to deliver to you scripture. It's to give you scripture and let the scriptures give you the counsel. What did the script say? Not how I feel, not how you feel. Now, if other people want to get into all that, I'm not mad at nobody. I'm saying that's what I do. It's just I give people scriptures and then let the couple take the verses of the Bible and read them together and come to a conclusion on how they're going to follow those verses.
And real fast, sisters, if y'all can, reach out to that sister in there that's dealing with that y'all on Facebook. Y'all, I'll see y'all in the comments. Just reach out to that sister, make sure she's all right. Her name, the Artiz De Quincy, you know, because she apparently is going through something. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
The second thing that we're doing, the second thing is I did a message yesterday, the Most High put on my heart. And that was to do a thing on what's called ahad, which I dealt with one Hebrew word for unity or for oneness. And I want to mention about the fact that we have to be careful about following every time somebody posts a YouTube video and they come up with something new, doesn't mean that as Israel, we should follow it. Let's make sure that we try everything that we hear according to scripture. And I want to put that out worldwide. Go to the video, check it out. It's a long video. But the emphasis is this. Yah has set up order, and he set up a door, and he set up a wall. And that wall is a wall of separation between us and the world. And so therefore that door that's set up, he says he is the door. So what comes into the house of Israel, it should pass through him. You don't just bring stuff into Israel without it being vetted by scripture. So when we do research, for instance, there's a video going viral about the fact that Israel is not Israel. And while I'm not saying that the brother is doing anything malicious, I actually like the brother, to be honest with you. I think he's really cool, and he knows who we are, we know who he is, and it's just, he's good. He's got a lot of information that's really good. But before you bring something as important as where is Israel, I think it would be good to talk to some people who've been to Israel, or some people who've been to Africa, or at least make sure you make a trip there. You know what I'm saying? This is not church. This is not Christianity. You don't just bring things. This is a family. And a father will not just let anybody bring anything into his house, because the dad's going to look at it and say, wait, hold on, we don't do that here. And so we have to make sure that what comes into the family is coming in through the portal or through the door, which is number one, Torah, and it's Torah as explained through our King Yoshiyahu. Yoshiyahu.
That's good.
We don't want to be tossed, man, in these last days, to and fro. Every time something comes out, we running over here. Oh, man, I believe this. Did you hear about this? Oh, I believe this now. I believe this now. And I believe this now. And, man, have you heard about this? Did y'all read this? Did you see that? And now the whole nation is in, like, this weird frenzy, man.
Yeah.
You got to stop that. You bring something to the table as information. You bring it and present it as information and invite Israel to examine it. Then once we all get together and examine it and chop it up and ask the hard questions, if it passed the test of Torah, then we bring it to the family. We bring it in the family as fact.
In decency and in order.
Yeah, man. That's what I'm talking about.
That's good. All right. So, okay. Somebody asked, how much of the Apocrypha have you and Hula been able to study. I heard you mention Maccabees.
Yes. So when it comes to reading them, we read them. When it comes to studying them, like in depth, I'm not gonna speak to Hulu. She studies in a different way than I do. My emphasis is to get the 66 books under my belt that Yah has given us. That when we woke up out of darkness, there's 66 books that's been handed to us. And I have a problem with people who don't know the 66 books of the Bible. They don't have that down pat, and yet they're running after a bunch of other books that have not, and some of them have not yet been proven. And so everything has to go through the lens of Torah, as far as I'm concerned. So the base is the Torah, and any other book that's out there has to line up with Torah. You don't get rid of Torah to line up with an extra biblical book. And just because somebody says, oh, this book should be in the Bible, don't mean that book should be in the Bible. One of the reasons why we're able to fact check the books that are in our Bible, the 66, is because we can go to the Hebrew. And because once you learn the Hebrew words, then you know if, for instance, there's contradiction. And the 66 books that we have none in any of the books, they don't contradict anything else that's been written. So therefore, in order to add other books to the volume, we have to also make sure that they don't do any contradicting. Because if they contradict what we already have, then we got to reject it. If you want to say, I'm going to take this book here over Torah, then that's got to be your choice. But that's not my choice. I'm taking Torah because Torah was what's the word I'm trying to say? Validated by our king.
Okay.
And once our king validates it, I ain't got nothing else to say. It's days. So yeah, I studied the 66 because there's some stuff down in them books, man, that I'm still trying to unravel. I'm aware of the other books. I've read through them. Actually, I've tried to get through Enoch a couple times. That's a hard read, by the way. It's a long book and it's a very difficult read. People who tell me, oh yeah, I'm looking at the book of Enoch. I mean, like, okay, what did Enoch chapter 111 verse 7 say? And they be like, what does it mean? Why? Because no, you ain't reading the book of Enoch. You lying just like you lie in church. What you really did was read the 5 verses somebody pointed out to you about something in Enoch. Now you feel like you've read the book of Enoch. That's a long, hard book to read. That book should take you months to get through.
Dang.
Yeah, months. And even then, you should be walking away saying, okay, I read it, but I don't get it. Yeah. So that's my stance on it. Not that I'm against it. I'm saying with the 66 books we have now, we can fact check them with the Hebrew language.
Okay. All right. Let's see. So yeah, I don't see any questions right now. So we could keep pressing forward. Oh, here's a question. What do you recommend doing, I guess, reading, praying, worship, if we live in a place where we can't to others to help guide us in growth and change? So I guess what they're asking is I guess they're in an isolated area kind of, and there's nobody to guide them on what to read and study. So they're wanting to know, I guess where to start at maybe.
Yeah. If you are woke already to the fact that you're a Hebrew, then there's some very basic places that you should start. If you want to start talking about feast days, the feast days start with the Shabbat. Start keeping the Shabbat. The first feast day is not Passover. The first feast day is the Shabbat. then you keep the Passover, and then you go through the rest of the 7 feasts, because you're going to learn as you not read the feast, as you keep the feast, you're going to learn a lot, and you're going to be, you're going to get a lot of insight to scripture that you wouldn't get if you weren't keeping those feasts. So that's a place to start. And I tell everybody, a good place also is start in the book of Genesis. It's the foundation of everything. Everything comes back to Genesis. So, and then just work your way through the first 5 books of the Bible. Once you get through the first 5 books of the Bible, you will discover that then from that point to the Revelation, it is just a retelling and a retelling and an unfolding. And if you don't have a guide, then of course you can always, there are people online right now, you know, Hul and I are of course at the Ark doing work, but there's other good Hebraic teachers out there, and they can help assist you. But there is no substitute for you studying the actual scriptures yourselves. And if it's 2 of you, 2 is better than 1.
Absolutely.
Yeah, for sure.
And another thing is, maybe you could talk on this a little, the importance of making a good effort of getting out, going to these events so you can meet with other Hebrews. I know at our Sukkot, I met a ton of people that live right here in Florida. So.
Yeah. Matter of fact, I'm glad you brought that up too, because during our events that we've been doing, I guess one of the most positive aspects is Hebrews realizing they're not alone, because they come to the event and they find out, oh, wait a minute, where do you live? Man, I live on it. One time we did an event and 2 people lived within, I think, 3 blocks. I think I told you about this last time we talked. Of each other, and had no idea. They were like literally like blocks apart in this big city. They were only a couple of blocks apart.
Wow.
And they have been together meeting and reaching out to other people ever since the event. Huh. So this is like, they were so happy because they thought they were all alone, and like literally around the corner, somebody else was watching the Ark and thought they was all alone. So they came to the event, found out, nope, you're not. And by the way, we're going to be making a swing back through some of the places that we've gone to. Hul and I may have to do some of this. We're trying to balance it now about how we're going to do all this, but some of the places we got to go back to, because we got to check on and update what people are doing.
Like Jacksonville. Yep. Yeah.
Yeah, you might talk us into Jacksonville, man. It sounds like a place we need to come to.
That's right. Okay. Somebody asked, what is the next book you and Hulu are working on?
With His Own Blood is the next book that's about to come out, and we have another one dealing with Hebrew Israel's brilliance. So there's a couple of them that's already on the hopper, but that one's probably going to hit first, where we go in depth on what it means to be redeemed.
Okay.
I don't think, you got folk out here trying to redeem themselves, trying to get to Yah without our King, trying to get to Yah's presence, rejecting Hamashiach. And so there's a lot of things that we're bringing out from a Hebraic understanding and giving the truth about that. So that's that book right there, I believe, is going to become a standard in the hands of people that are waking up to truth. Okay. The other book that I'm working on is a book called The Right Tools. And it's basically going to be a guide for Hebrew men how to raise Hebrew men from boys to men.
Okay.
That's kind of like a guide. I'm going to show that one of the reasons that we seem to be failing is because we're not using the right tools. And we need the right tools in our hand to do it. And of course, the major tool is Torah. But I'll get more into depth with that.
And Beat Brothers asked, he was asking you, do you know of any congregations or anyone in this truth in Milwaukee? You know that offhand?
You know what? Not offhand, but I do know we've received some emails and some letters from Milwaukee.
Okay.
So, yeah, for sure, we need to get that Hebrews Near Me thing up and going for those of you that are in Milwaukee, because yes, we have received people who have reached out to us from those areas.
And if somebody's listening, the brother's name is Beat Brothers. He's on Facebook and he's in the comments. So if you're listening on, because I'm streaming all over the daggone place, so you'd have to just go over to Facebook and look in the comments, and you could reach out to him if you from Milwaukee or whatever. So, all right, let's see what else we got. Yeah, all right, folks, they're excited about the book. Somebody is asking anybody in North Carolina. That's on YouTube on the Hebrew Nation Builders page. And like I said, y'all, I promise, man, y'all go to these events and folks coming out the woodwork. You guaranteed to meet somebody, like Yoshiyahu said, that's right near you. Go to the events. You know what I'm saying? I see Chattanooga, Tennessee. Somebody's asking about that. Like I said,
look, we come into Tennessee. If the Most High allows us this year, Tennessee is one of
Okay, so they're gonna try to get to Tennessee. We already talked about Massachusetts earlier in this. Let's see. So yeah. But like I said, yeah, when they have these events, you're gonna meet people from all over the place, you know, or people come from all over the place. And
hopefully this year also we're gonna be doing some combined stuff. You know, like you said, we got Only Love, we got the Hebrew Nation Building, you know, Ronald Dalton, yourself, other people that are doing great work in the kingdom, not affiliated with all these camps and all this stuff that's out there that's no, these are people who want to study, be mainline, study the scripture, and walk accordingly. And we are planning on doing some joint things, some things together nationally. Yeah. And that's also going to help, because there's people who watch this group, the people watch that group, people watch this group. But if you knew that all of you all were watching the same people, of course you're going to know that fellowship is going to hopefully be better. And let me share something with y'all too. Community is not as easy as you think it is. Relationships take work. So even when you do find people of like mind and you start to get together, don't think every day is just going to be rainbows.
Yeah.
because this is not church. So we can't be fake here. This is life. This is culture. So what you're doing is you are understanding that you're family. And I don't know any family where brothers and sisters at one time or another didn't get into it. I don't know. There's just that does not exist.
Right.
The idea is, though, it's your family bond that overrides anything else. And we're all a work in progress. So don't think you're going to just meet somebody and have a perfect person, because you're not perfect. So everybody is working together to keep Torah. So just keep that in the back of your mind as you start to gather together and keep the Shabbat and all that, and then make some events and make some of these feast days, and I believe you'll be all right.
Yeah. And like I said, that weekend that I actually met Yoshi in person, there were like 3 different events going on. And that's one of the main purposes of what I'm doing here, is so everybody knows what everybody else is doing. And there's no, because maybe a month out from that event, we had no idea Yoshi was going to be there that same weekend, And I reached out to him and we linked up and everything and realized he was going to be there. And we went to his event and all these events, and I met all types of people. I mean, that, yeah, you know, brothers and sisters, and the stuff turned into all types of new ventures. Like, we're working on making a little mini movie, and all types of things have come out of it. So it was awesome.
Yeah.
All right. So did you want to bring out you say you're going to bring out a lesson?
Oh, all right. I'm gonna do, but you know, I'm not gonna, because this interview kind of went long. I appreciate you having me, man. You know, I appreciate the work that you putting in. A lot of people don't know it takes a lot of work to set up stuff like this.
Yeah.
With Hebrews and to try to get them on and get them online and all that, man. It's a lot. So bye for all the work that you're doing. And of course, we've been spreading the news out here about the channel, but we'll continue to do that. We just put some links when we redo the website and update everything in there. We'll basically have a link to Spiritual Combat so people can go directly to it, because you're on every platform now. So
yeah.
I had a thought before I came online that I wanted to share, but I'm not going to go as deep as I was. I'm going to stay on the surface level.
You got time now.
No, man. It's late back there. But I want to stay on the surface level, but I saw something in Psalm 1. You mentioned the Psalm earlier, and we actually, funny that we actually talking a little bit about counsel. Go to that Psalm 1. I don't know if there's a possibility to put that Psalm on the screen or a verse, but if it's not, it's all right. I'll just read it.
Let me see what I can do. Let me see what I can do.
All right. And all you Hebrews and all of those who've been grafted into this marvelous family of the descendants of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, 12 tribes of Israel. Open your Bibles, because I want to show you something, or not just one thing, but I want to show you some information from this text from a Hebraic perspective, and that is Psalm 1, and it's the very first psalm of what we have in this manuscript of 150 psalms. These are this was our songbook, and this is what we sang as a nation. Hold on, let me decline. And so I want to go through this quickly, but it's some information in here. The very first word, let me read it first and then I'll come back. Blessed is the man that walketh not in the counsel of the ungodly, nor stands in the way of sinners, nor sits in the seat of the scornful, but his delight is in the law of Yahuwah, said the Lord in English, and in his law, or in his Torah, does he meditate day and night. He should be like a tree planted by the rivers of water that bringeth forth his fruit in his season. His leaf also shall not wither, and whatsoever he doeth shall prosper. The ungodly are not so, but are like the chaff which the wind driveth away. Therefore, the ungodly shall not stand in the judgment, nor sinners in the congregation of the righteous. For Yahuwah knoweth the way of the righteous, but the way of the ungodly shall perish. That is a psalm. That is the way our songbook starts. When the Hebrews got together and put together the songbook, they said, this is a good one to start with. Why? Because it immediately sets the reader and the singer or the worshiper, it immediately sets the reader or the worshiper on one or two paths, one or two tracks. See, with church, most of us come out of a church background or another religious system, they always talk about all these different paths. So everybody is like taking their own journey or their own path to a particular conclusion. As a matter of fact, that is promoted. You should choose your own way, choose your own path, follow your own feelings, go your own way, do your own thing, be an individual.
Yeah.
And all of that talk gets into our psyche, and we start feeling like there's a bunch of different paths that a person can take. But to the Hebrew, to the Israelite, to the 12 tribes, we understand something. It ain't but two paths. There's the path of the righteous that leads to life. There's the path of the ungodly that leads to hell. And there's nobody in the middle. They go one way or the other. There is no middle ground. That whole idea is a lie. So I want to give you some Hebrew words, and then I'm gonna let it go. I want to give you some Hebrew words because I wanted to talk really about two paths. It's my little lesson today for Israel. Ain't but two paths, only two. Either you're right or you're wrong. There's no middle. Either you're on the path that's leading us into the presence of Yah, or you're on the path that's leading you away from the presence of Yah. There's 4 or 5 paths, and that is a foundation. Uh-oh, my internet is unstable. Am I still there?
Yeah, you're good.
Okay. Now watch this. The very first word there is the word blessed. And it's interesting because what comes into a person's mind when they hear the word blessed? To be honest, most people think when you're blessed, it's because you're going to get stuff. So we immediately equate blessings with getting. Secondly, we immediately say that we equate curse by taking. So in the brain of a normal Christian, the brainwashing that has happened to us is that when we hear the word blessed, we're thinking of a person that's got stuff, money, power, houses, land. We say that person's blessed. Even if that person is working for the devil, we say, well, he's still being blessed. See, the word means getting stuff. So they'll say this. They'll say, well, shoot, the mob is more blessed than you. You know, the mafia is more blessed than you. Dope dealers, they out here, they more blessed than you. So obviously they have no clue what this word asher means in Hebrew. The word blessed, this particular word, blessed in Hebrew, has nothing at all to do with getting anything. As a matter of fact, the word in the mind of a Hebrew would not even think that they were going to be getting something when they use this particular word. Because the word is asher, and it has the picture is an aleph. The letters aleph, shin, resh. Aleph. First letter in the Hebrew alphabet represents an ox or strength or power, a might, a leader. Shin represents teeth. So when you get a shin, it is the letter, it's the last letter, second to last letter in the Hebrew alphabet, 21 letter. It represents the 2 front teeth of a human that's used to bite or to eat or to consume. And again, that word, when it is used in the positive, in the negative, to consume something, is literally like say for instance, if a tiger consumed you and tore you and ate you. Now watch this. It's positive and negative. It's negative for you, but it's positive for the tiger. He was hungry and he got fed. And so, because you don't think of that when you eat chicken. So when you eat a chicken, you're consuming it, or you can eat, I should say, if you eat vegetables, you're consuming it. So it's positive. So here's the picture. In order to consume, you must then apply pressure. And it's the pressure of those two teeth that then tear whatever it is that you're going to eat. It tears it off or tears it away. Here's the picture. It separates it, right? And of course, it's done by pressure. The last one is a resh. The resh in Hebrew is the picture of a man's head. And so therefore it represents the head. So there's another word in Hebrew that goes with the idea of head, and that is the beginning. The very first word in Hebrew, in the Hebrew Bible, is Bereshit. And when we see the word Bereshit, you know that word has to do with the beginning, and you know that it has a resh in it. So the resh is the head. So bar in Rashid, the beginning or beginning, it has to do with the head. So when you put these letters together, Aleph, which is an ox or strength or power, and you have Shin, which is teeth or to press, and then you have Resh, which is a head. Notice what this word then means. It means to press by heavy weight or by strength. It means to press the head. Now, how does that mean blessed? How is the pressing of the head mean blessed? To press the beginning is blessed. How does that work? Well, have you ever heard a person or have you ever seen a person try to tie a rope? In order to tie a rope and make it work, you have to apply pressure to the beginning of the rope. Once you apply pressure to the rope, then you can take the strands and you can begin to twist them until it gets to be a strong rope. But if you don't apply pressure to the beginning of it, if you just hold it loosely, you'll never be able to tie the rest of the rope. In Hebrew, the rope, being a gimel, is a tool that's used to lift as well as guide. Okay, so in the negative, a rope, when Hebrews hear about a rope, first thing they do is be like, oh, don't talk to me about no rope. Why? Because they used to hang us with ropes. They used to tie us and beat us with ropes, right? But on the positive side of a rope, if you ever fell into a deep ditch, say 100 feet, and you couldn't get out, and somebody came over and was talking about, I can help you. The thing you want to see is what? That rope coming over the edge to help do what? Lift you out. Or in this case, because we're dealing with this idea of what does it mean to be blessed? The idea of the pinching of the head means that you must apply pressure to the beginning if you want to be able to make it to the end. Let me say that again. If you want to be able to endure or to be on the pathway that he's going to talk about, understand that the pressure has to first be in the beginning, like the beginning of tying a rope. It's the pressure of the head. It's to squeeze the head. Now, those of you who are Hebrew students, you also know this. Other people, you may not know this, but the Hebrew students know this, that it was the ox that treaded on the corn, stomped the heads of grain in order to produce the food that produced the seed or broke the seed so that the seed could then bless the family. So again, we see this same picture, just different. I used it as a rope to start the tying of the rope. Now I want to show you as when it comes to food or sustenance, if you want it, there has to be first something with power pressing the head of the grain that will give us the seed that we can then make bread. So blessed in this verse here is not talking about getting anything. The blessed here is talking, well, I shouldn't say get out. Material. Blessed here, watch this, is talking about going through trouble. Taking the righteous path versus taking the unrighteous path. One path is easy. The other path is hard or is a pressing, doesn't feel good. People don't like it. The beginning of the rope, the pressure, the pressing down on the seed on the husk in order to bust the hard shell to get the seed out to the seed, that is terrible. And let me tell you what this text is saying when you start your walk, it is going to be pressure. It's gonna be hard. It's gonna be difficult. This ain't easy. This ain't flowers. This ain't no tiptoe through no tulips. That word blessed does not mean getting stuff. This idea of blessed means you are going to now be under the pressure of Torah. It's the beginning. The hardest part is the beginning. So blessed. The beginning, so that, watch this, you can be led. Here's the picture. Our king desires to lead his people. And he does that by establishing a pathway. Now, when I say a path, I don't want you to think of a road, because a road pretty much is built on top of the ground. So you have the ground, then they put on gravel, then they put on blacktop, and then they put on more blacktop. So the road is on top of the ground. Hebraically, a pathway is not built on top of the ground. A pathway, direct, is the word that creates a groove in the ground. Sort of like when you go bowling, and the ball rolls off the lane and hits the gutter. What happens? It clunks in the gutter, and the ball stays in that groove and don't hit no pins, right? That's a negative. But the point is this: that groove is the Hebraic word for the path. So blessed is man that walketh not. That idea of walking on a path is walking in a groove that's already established. Why? Because when you get into a groove that's already established, then that means the beginning and the end of the journey is predetermined. You don't have to guess. What's that? Oh, go ahead. So when you get in the groove, you don't have to wonder about the pathway, where it began and where it ends, because it's predetermined. So the Bible says the man that is being pressed is not the one that's walking, watch this, according to the advice of the wicked. See, the advice of the wicked is to keep you out of the groove of Yah. The advice of the wicked, I'm trying to hurt nobody's feelings, but I'm gonna cut this thing short, family. The advice of the wicked, watch this, is your advice. I'm gonna say it again. Any advice you give, any advice you got from your cousin, your uncle, your mama, your daddy, your pastor, your deacons, any of that advice is wicked. Why is it wicked? because it came from the tree of good and evil. It's Torah. It's Tov, and at the same time, it's Ra. It's functional and dysfunctional at the same time. Understanding that from the very beginning, you can understand now why Rabbi Shaul said, let Yah be true and every man a liar. It's hard for us to come to grips with the fact that when we sitting back giving information to people that we really trying to help them, it's hard to understand that what we're giving them is wicked. It's wicked to just hand a person a bunch of books about a subject because some psychologist or some sociologist or some marriage counselor or some person dealing with this has been doing this study, and based on the facts and based on this report and based on this and this, and they come up with all these ideas and they bring them to you and they hand them to you as a path to travel, and you find yourself worse. Why? Because, listen to me, it ain't but two paths. There's only two grooves. There's one groove leading to life. There's another groove leading to death. What happened with our people is when we got kicked up out the land and had to be scattered, what ended up happening was we as a nation was stuck in the wicked groove. And once we got into a dysfunctional groove, then that dysfunction, watch this, the dysfunctional groove became for us normal.
That's American culture.
So that we could not even tell the difference when we were in the groove of Yah and in the groove of Hasatan, the devil. And some of us are so caught up in that other groove, that other pathway, that we think when we paint our kids looking like the devil and giving out candy, we think we're doing Yah a favor. When we make Easter eggs, we think we're praising Yah. And that, you got to think about how sick that is, where they will cut a pig and pray over it and call it the resurrection dinner.
Wow.
Why? Because you got wicked counsel. Grandma told you to do it, but you didn't know grandma had wicked counsel. Uncle told you to do it. You were walking. The first psalm said, the man that suffers in the beginning, because he's later going to tell you he's keeping Torah. I don't have time to get there today, but I hope this at least whets your appetite. When you read the psalm, he's going to tell you the reason that the other fella is blessed is because he's keeping Torah versus what everybody else is saying. Mama said this, grandma said that. All that information was wicked as hell. No, but they love me. They was wicked. I don't care if they loved you or not. The information, the counsel was ungodly. Their way was of sinners. The seat was of a scornful. It's just the truth. Because they didn't have Torah. They had church. They didn't have Torah. They had the Quran. They didn't have Torah. They had, whatever the Chinese, the Buddhists, the Indians. If you had Torah, let me tell you what you'd be doing. You'd be suffering in the beginning. The pinching of the head, having to choose between the broad way of the world and the narrow way of Yah. So as this goes out worldwide, I want you to understand that word to be blessed. Here's the key. It means that you are in the right groove. And what is the groove? Watch this. But his delight. And that particular word has to do with his pathway. Let me get that for you in Hebrew. The word for delight, kefitz, is the idea that the person has found that which is meaningful And in turn, it gives them like joy or pleasure. So do you see what's going on here? Yah has to change the things that used to bring us pleasure. He has to stop that and he has to reprogram your pleasure senses.
That's good.
See, where your delight used to be every December when it started to look a lot like Christmas.
That's good.
All through the town. So now your delight was, oh my goodness, it's Christmas time.
Wow.
Right? But what Yah says is that the man who's actually blessed is the one who has had his delights changed from the counsel of the ungodly and the advice of wicked sinners and all that. Watch this, to Torah.
To looking forward to Sukkot.
Yes. So now your delight is in Passover. Your delight is not getting ready for Sunday morning. No, your delight is Shabbat.
That's good, man.
The delight is in Torah now.
Man, that's good.
And what do you do then? He says you meditate in it. I don't got time to do. I'm going to cut it off right. Family, y'all know I love y'all, right? Got to cut it short, family. Got to cut it short. Cut it short right now. But his delight is in the law of Yah. And in that law, in Torah, does he meditate.
Wow.
Meditate doesn't mean just read. Meditate means read, chew it, swallow, let it go under, cough it back up, chew it some more.
It's skipping.
Bring it back to your mind.
Okay, there we go.
Day, you got to do it day and night. Now, here's what you cannot do. You cannot meditate and be on your phone at the same time. You can't be doing this. Just, what are you doing? Oh, nothing. Looking at Facebook. What are you doing? Nothing. Instagram. What are you doing? I'm just going through my mail. What are you doing? Just, Zion. This right here, this ain't meditating on the word. Matter of fact, this right here gonna stress you out. You know what? I got too many songs in my head. I just thought about this song one lady sang. She said, I can make you put your phone down. I can make you put your phone down. What she was saying was in the song is, I got something better than your phone. That's what she was telling her husband or whatever in the song. I don't know the song. I remember because it was slamming. But can Yah make you put your phone down? Can Torah make you put your phone down? No, see, the idea is your delight has to be in the law of Yah. And in that law, meditate day and night. And the promise here is, watch this. Here's the promise. It says, and he shall be like a tree planted by the rivers of water that bring forth fruit in its season, and his leaf shall not wither, and whatsoever he does shall prosper. So what is he saying? The one that takes the narrow path and stays in it is the one who don't look like nothing in the beginning, while everybody else is prospering and going and looking all prosperous, but they're keeping the ungodly counsel of men. We find out later at the end of the song, that whole group goes to hell. They don't stand in the day of judgment. In other words, they don't have anything that will enable them to endure the judgment because they've been going that way. But those who kept Torah, it says, no, they're going to. For Yah says, the ungodly shall not stand in the judgment, nor sinners in the congregation of the righteous, for Yah knoweth the way of the righteous, but the way of the ungodly shall perish. In other words, there's that word again, the pathway. Why? Because Yah is the one that created the righteous path. He started it. And was it easy for him when our king got here? Wasn't he pressed? Didn't he have to endure a lot of especially in the beginning of his ministry. You know, when he brought his first message, they tried to kill him, right? When he told them, the Spirit of Yah is upon me. At the end of the message, when he sat down, the deacons got together and said, we got to kill this young man today. And they were about to throw him off a cliff. Y'all should read it. That's how it started. Why? Because that's how it starts for us. But the end game is that we're going to be with Yah because we're in the right groove. Yeah. Stay right there. Stay right there. Stay right there.
That's right.
And we're going to end up in the right place. So I just wanted to put that out there, family. Y'all know I love you. I just had that on my heart. I thought that it would give encouragement to some of you all who thought it was going to be all happy-go-lucky. Find out, no, this is a difficult walk. Well, we were told in the first song, if we would have looked at it from Hebrew, we would have known that it's going to be tough in the beginning. But we got to stop listening to the world, pay attention to Torah, get in the groove of Yah, and we'll end up in the house of Yah forever. Hallelujah.
Hallelujah. So yeah, y'all, that is brother or Moreh Yoshiyahu. Definitely, he's on Facebook now. So definitely, I had his page up earlier. So if y'all watching, just rewind the video. Y'all can look at it where I had it up earlier. Definitely go on there, friend them, and check them out. And I appreciate you coming on the Spiritual Combat Show again. Anytime you have new information coming out, just reach out to me and I'll have you come on and spread it out all over so everybody stays informed. Moreh Yoshi, definitely a good message, but it is getting late. So yeah, we're going to wrap this up. Appreciate everybody watching, and shalom to y'all.
Don't forget, support the art. We doing the work trying to help wake up Israel, and just www.awakeningremnant.com and show your love, and also show your love for Spiritual Combat out here on the front lines doing work. And the rest of the brethren, we really appreciate everything y'all doing for the family. All right, I'm out. Shalom. To the 12 tribes worldwide.